Please mute your microphone. Thank you very much. So we will be studying the basic switching concept. With it, we will be studying some of the advanced concept. Okay, so today we will be studying about VLANs. What all are the types of VLANs? So what types of VLANs do you know? What all are the types of VLANs that you people know?
Standard VLAN and extended VLANs.
Okay, and what else?
Default, which
Anything you
is
know? Native VLAN, right? Right, like
native
native
VLAN.
VLAN.
When it is, I think if it is not assigned to any VLAN, the traffic will pass through native VLAN.
Correct, but
I don't
but it
remember
is a
correct.
default VLAN. You can say it is a default VLAN on every Cisco switch. Okay, and every ports are assigned to the native VLANs by default.
Uh, and I think for security purposes, we are supposed to change it to some other VLAN other
Yes,
than one.
yes.
Mm.
So that is something for security part. Okay, we will be seeing that thing also. Don't worry. We have already seen that thing in the CCNA syllabus. Okay, so how to change the VLAN ID and make the native VLAN as some other VLAN and do not assign any ports to that VLAN so that if an attacker is trying to send any packet to the network, okay, without any VLAN tag, then what will happen? It will go to the native VLAN, okay, and it will not, uh, you can say it will be dropped.
Yes,
Understood?
sir.
Now, the first thing we will be studying is native VLAN. Normally, a switch port configured as trunk port send and receive IEEE 802.1q VLAN tagged Ethernet frames. So, whenever we are configuring a port as a trunk port, okay, so what will happen? We have seen what is trunk port. We have seen what is trunk port yesterday. Okay, so whenever we are tagging a port as a trunk port, what it will do, it will carry multiple VLAN information, right? It will carry multiple VLAN informations. Now if suppose a trunk port is having an information that is not having a tag, then the switch will forward that traffic to the port that is under native VLAN. Okay, if a switch receives untagged Ethernet frame on its trunk port, they are forwarded to the VLAN that is configured on the switch as native VLAN. Both sides of the trunk link must be configured to be in the same native VLAN. Understood?
Yes, sir.
What is
Yes, sir.
native VLAN? Native VLAN is a default VLAN, you can say. Native VLAN, you can assign IP addresses to the native VLAN. Why you need to assign IP address to a VLAN or to a switch? Why you need to assign an
For
IP address
remote
to a switch?
remote configuration.
So remote configuration.
Uh,
Okay. So we will see some things like how to create a VLAN basic. See, these are the protocols that are used if we want to uh, make a link trunk, ISL inter switch link, and IEEE 802.1q. Now, what is the difference between these two protocols? The first one, ISL, is a Cisco proprietary, means you can use it only on Cisco devices. Okay, you can use this only on Cisco devices. IEEE, this is an open standard protocol, so it has been used widely. It works with Ethernet, token ring, and FDDI. Okay, it only works with Ethernet frames. It only works with Ethernet frames. Now, what is the disadvantage of ISL by ISL? First of all, it is a Cisco proprietary. Then it adds 30 bytes of tag, whereas IEEE.1q adds only 4 byte of tag to the frame. Now, see the difference. A tag of 30 bytes and a tag of 4 bytes. Okay, so this is the difference, and that is the reason 802.1q is used. Okay, understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, native VLAN, default native VLAN is VLAN 1. Default native VLAN is VLAN 1. Now, what all are the best practices? Best practices.
To change it to some other VLAN ID.
Yes, we
Uh,
will see the best practices. What all are the best practices? Best practice is to change the native VLAN ID to any other VLAN ID, you can say. Okay, and ensure that this VLAN is not used anywhere in the network. Okay, and you have to ensure that this VLAN is not used anywhere in the network.
Mm.
No ports should be assigned to this, sorry, to this native VLAN. Okay, you should not assign any ports, any switch port you should not assign to this native VLAN. Whatever we are changing the native VLAN ID, you should not assign any port. Okay, now what will happen? What will be the advantage of this thing? You can say an attacker who attempts to use the VLAN hopping attack. What the type of attack is known as VLAN hopping attack. Okay, VLAN hopping attack. The attacker who is trying to use the VLAN hopping attack will end up in a dead VLAN that has no host connected. Okay, understood?
Yes.
So the next important thing that you need to remember, if two switches are connected, okay, if two switches are connected, then on both the switches, both the connected switches, the native VLAN ID should be same. Should be same. If
Same.
it will not be same, it will not communicate with each other. Okay, understood. So we will see. Uh, okay, so we'll see over here. Let me close all these things. Suppose I will take one switch over here and one switch over here. I have taken two switches. Okay, I will make a connection between them. Okay, now how to check the VLAN? How to check the VLANs? So what I will do first, I will make this link as a trunk link. I will make this link as a trunk link. Okay, so first of all, I will see the VLAN ID, show VLAN. When I give this command show VLAN, then you can see default it is a default VLAN, VLAN 1. Okay, all the ports are assigned to the VLAN 1 by default. Now, what I said, I will make this port, both the ports as trunk. Okay, so what I will do, I will go config terminal interface fast ethernet 0/1. How to make it trunk? Would have to give the command switch port
Switch
mode
port mode trunk.
trunk. Okay, then switch port encapsulation is not supported in the packet tracer, so by default it will take uh, that .1q only. So what I will give the command to see the trunk, show trunk, show sorry, show interface trunk. Once I give this command, see, I can see which port is my trunk port. Show interface trunk. Fast Ethernet 0/1 is my trunk port. And you can see the encapsulation type is used as 802.1q. Okay. Now you can see over here the native VLAN ID is VLAN 1. The native VLAN ID is VLAN 1. Understood? Now I have
Yes, sir.
configured this switch. I will go on this switch also, and what I will do, I will configure this as this port also as trunk port. Switch port mode trunk. Okay. Show interface trunk. So when I do the VLAN, when I see the trunk, so you can see it is the fast Ethernet 0/1 is also having a trunk. It is also an trunk port using 802.1q encapsulation, and the native VLAN is VLAN 1. Okay, now what I have to do, what I will do, my task is to change the native VLAN ID to some other VLAN ID. Okay, so what I will do, I will change it to some other VLAN ID. So how to change it? So I have to go in the configuration mode, I have to go inside the interface. Okay, fast Ethernet 0/1. When once I came inside the interface, I have to give the command switch port trunk native VLAN, and I can give any number. What command I have to give? Switch port trunk native VLAN, and I can give here any number. I will give 6666. Okay, 666. I gave the native VLAN number. Now see, once I click enter, I will get some CDP messages, you can say, on another switch. Okay, see, on this switch also I am getting a CDP message that native VLAN mismatch discovered on fast Ethernet 666, switch fast Ethernet. So you will get this type of message, and also on the other side you will get STP messages. Okay, on the other side also you will get some messages in some time. You will get STP is not running, STP is not running, some messages you will get on this side also. Understood? So
Yes.
see, native VLAN mismatch, this can be a question. Okay, this can be a question in your exam, that they will give you some details. They will give you the configurations of both the things, both the switches, that these all are the configuration done on both the switches. Okay, now I'm getting these outputs. They will show the output. We are getting these output. Why the output is coming like this? So you have to uh, verify both the commands on the switch, commands on both the switches, and you have to see what is mismatch, what is the mismatch. So over here the native VLAN is 1, and over here the native VLAN is, see, when I go in show interface trunk, over here the native VLAN is 666. Understood?
Yes.
Any
Sir.
doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Again I will see show VLAN. Once I see show VLAN, okay, all the ports are assigned to VLAN 1, and it is not my default VLAN anymore. It is not my native VLAN. So whenever an attacker will try to send a packet, he will try to get into the network. So what he will be guessing? He will be guessing that the native VLAN is 1, and ports every ports are assigned to the native VLAN by default. So he will try to he will try to send a untagged frame on the ports. Once the untagged frame is received on the trunk port, then what the trunk port will do, it will forward the traffic, the switch will forward the traffic to the native VLAN. And now what will happen? The native VLAN ID is 666 and no ports are assigned to it. No ports are assigned to it. Understood?
Yes, sir.
See, we can see VLAN 666. Okay. See, now I got the spanning tree message. Once I created a VLAN, I got a spanning tree message. And see, over here, they will not come up. They will not come up because the spanning tree is not getting completed. The spanning tree is not getting completed. See, blocking fast Ethernet 0/1 VLAN 666 inconsistent local VLAN. Understood? So once you see show VLAN again, you got a VLAN 666 and there is no ports assigned to it. Understood? Now once I will go on this switch and I will create VLAN 666 over here also and assign this to the interface fast Ethernet 0/1. I will go over here, switch port. What was the command? Switch port trunk native
Mode.
VLAN 666. Okay, once I give this command, then they will run spanning tree and they will come up in some time. Okay, see, show VLAN, show VLAN. I've created one VLAN 666, no ports are assigned. Show interface trunk. My native VLAN is 666. Okay, understood. See, the ports came up, the switches came up. Okay, now they can communicate with each other. So this thing you have to keep in mind whenever you are configuring a switch as whenever you are configuring you can say native VLAN ID, whenever you are changing the native VLAN ID, this thing you have to keep in mind that on both the sides the you can say the VLAN native VLAN ID should be same. Understood?
Yes.
Sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So we have seen the native VLAN. Okay. ISL is a Cisco proprietary, supports 1000 VLANs. Original frame is encapsulated and a new header is inserted during the encapsulation process. So this is something legacy method. Now in Cisco also this method is not used. In the Cisco's new, you can say new version. Okay. Now you know how to create a VLAN. Okay. Create VLAN, you have to give this VLAN, and if you want to name a VLAN, then you have to go over here and say name VLAN, name sales, sorry, name sales. Understood? Now how
Yes.
to assign a port to a VLAN? Interface, you have to go inside the interface. Okay, you can say switch port mode access. You are making this port as access port, switch port access VLAN 2. Okay, so first I created VLAN 2 and I assigned this VLAN to this port to VLAN 2. Now if suppose I want to give some, I have port 1 to 4, port number 1 to 4, I want to assign these ports to VLAN 2. What I have to give the command? I have to give the command interface
Interface range.
range fast Ethernet 0/1 to 4. Okay, then these commands are same. Just I have to go inside the range command. Okay, and I have to configure this thing. Understood?
Yes.
Now this is the trunking thing. Trunking, combining many VLANs on the same port is called trunking. A trunk allows the transportation of frames from different VLANs. Each frame has a tag that specifies the VLAN that it belongs to. The device forwards the frame to the corresponding VLAN based on the tag information. Okay. How to configure? Enter the interface configuration mode. Configure the fast Ethernet as trunk. Okay, so these are the steps that you can do to make the interface as trunk. Understood?
Yes.
So we have already learned these all things in the CCNA syllabus. Now, what is dynamic trunking protocol, DTP? What is
If
DTP?
one side is configured as trunk, and it will the other side of the switch port will also be automatically configured as trunk.
How?
Uh, I don't exactly remember. There is something called dynamic desirable, uh, something like that.
Correct. Correct. So switch port mode interactions. Manual configuration is recommended. Configure the port as trunk or access on both the switches. So DTP, how the DTP works? DTP, the dynamic trunking protocol, is a proprietary networking protocol developed by Cisco system for purpose of negotiating trunking on a link between two VLAN aware switches. Okay, suppose I'm running two VLANs. Okay, now there are two modes over here, dynamic desirable and dynamic auto. Now, what is dynamic desirable? Makes the port actively attempt to convert the link to trunk link. What it will do? Makes the port actively attempt to convert the link to the trunk link. The port becomes a trunk link if neighboring Ethernet port is set to trunk. Okay, suppose I have made a trunk port. Okay, and at another side I have used dynamic desirable, then automatically it will convert it into trunk port. The another switch will automatically get converted into trunk port. It is not necessary that it should be made trunk. Okay, this is dynamic desirable. What is dynamic auto? Allows the port to negotiate DTP if other side is set to trunk or desirable, otherwise it will become an access port. Okay, so if other port is becoming trunk, other port is trunk, if someone is sending him the information about trunk, then only he will be assigning the port as trunk, otherwise it will not assign the port as trunk, it will make the port as access port. Okay, so these are some dynamic trunking protocols. Okay, if you are using dynamic auto and dynamic auto, then it on both the sides, on both the switches, see we have two switches, this is one switch, this is one switch, this is a trunk link. Now if I'm using dynamic auto and dynamic auto on both the side, then the link will be always an access link, it will not come up as a trunk link. Now if I'm using dynamic auto at one side and other side I'm using dynamic desirable, what I'm using, dynamic desirable. So dynamic auto will see this dynamic desirable. Okay, this is a trunk port, so okay, I will also uh, configure myself as a trunk port. Dynamic auto and trunk, it will be also trunk. Dynamic auto and access, it will be an access port. Understood? So these are some combinations that you need to remember about DTP. So you can make a note if you want. These are the some types of combinations. Understood? Now, if you are having a trunk link and an access link, the connectivity is limited. You will have a limited connectivity. Understood? Also, if you are having same things, vice versa, limited connectivity. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what is VTP?
It advertises VLAN information to other switches.
Okay. So how it advertises the VLAN information to other switches?
The server switch advertises all its VLAN to all its client switches, and transparent switches will only pass on the information without actually getting the VLAN.
Okay. So you mean to say that server switch is the switch that will forward the information to all the switches. Okay, connecting in the
Yes, sir.
network, the configuration informations, and the client switches that
Will
are the
receive it.
switches that will receive the information. Okay,
Yes,
and the
sir.
transparent switch, what the transparent switch will do, transparent switch will
They will forward the information without receiving it.
without storing the data, you can say they will
Ah,
not store the data. VLAN trunking protocol reduces administration in a switched network. When you configure a new VLAN on one VTP server, the VLAN is distributed through all the switches in the domain. So let me see, we will study this VLAN VTP afterwards. Okay. Now, extended VLAN. What do you mean by extended VLAN? We'll study this VTP afterwards. Okay, in later parts. Now, let me know what do you mean by extended VLAN?
extended VLAN will get stored in some other place, sir. I don't remember where it will get stored, but standard VLAN information will be stored somewhere else, and extended VLAN information will be stored somewhere else.
Okay. So see, ISL uses why we are using extended VLAN. Okay. So Cisco are having an extended VLAN range is from 1025 to 4096. This is the VLAN range. Okay. Now ISL uses 10-bit VLAN ID to 1024 VLANs. ISL only use 1024 VLANs. .1Q uses 12-bit VLAN ID field up to 4096 VLAN. So whenever you are using an extended VLAN means you are running 802.1Q. Okay. Now at Cisco, if you are using extended VLANs, okay, you have to follow these restrictions. If you want to configure an extended VLAN, then you have to follow these rules, you can say. VTP cannot be used for VLAN management. VTP must be configured in transparent mode or off mode. Whenever you are using VTP, okay, then you cannot use extended VLAN or you cannot create extended VLAN. The spanning tree extended system ID feature must be enabled. What you should enable? You should enable the spanning tree system extended system ID feature. What is extended system ID feature? It is a combination of priority and VLAN ID, you can say. Priority, what is priority? Priority is something, a default number that is given to a switch. Okay, it is a combination of priority and VLAN ID. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
So extended VLANs. What
Yeah,
do you
basically we
understand?
use extended VLANs when we are testing something in the live environment,
Correct.
like when we set up test environment.
Yes. So we have the theory part of extended VLAN, like we can use the extended VLANs, how to configure the extended VSE, how, what all things you have to remember when you are configuring an extended VLAN. So suppose if I go on this switch, okay, enable config T, no IP domain lookup. Okay. So suppose if I want to create an extended VLAN, suppose I will create a VLAN 2004. Okay, what it is saying? What it is saying me? VLAN 2004 failed to create VLANs 2004. Extended VLANs not allowed in current VTP mode. What it is saying me? It is not allowed in current VTP mode. So what I will do, show VTP status. Do show VTP status. What is my mode? VTP operating mode is server mode. What I told you, you cannot configure the VTP if your you cannot configure the
Extended.
extended VLAN if your mode is VTP. If your mode in the VTP is server or any other, your mode should be transparent. So how to
Transparent
change the
mode.
mode? What is the command to change the mode? Varun, Hari, Varun, what is the command to change the mode?
Transparent. VTP mode transparent.
So it is simple. What do you have to do? VTP mode transparent.
Transparent.
Okay. Now if I will create the VLAN, it will get created. See, it got created. Okay. I can see the VLAN information. Show VLAN. See, I've created an extended VLAN. I've created an extended VLAN over here. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So you cannot create an VLAN when you are extended VLAN when your VTP mode is server. By default, all the Cisco switches are running on server mode only. So you have to change
Server
the
mode.
VTP mode if you want to create a VLAN, an extended VLAN.
Mute.
Varun, please mute your microphone. Okay, thank you very much. So now I told you about the second thing also. What was the second thing? Spanning tree
Spanning tree
extended
put.
system ID feature must be enabled. So by default it is enabled. By default it is enabled on all the switches. So how to see this thing? You have to you have to give this command. Show spanning tree summary. What do you have to do? You have to go on the switch and you have to give this command. Show spanning tree summary. Okay, once you give this command, you will get the summary of the spanning tree that is running. Okay, see, extended system ID is enabled. Extended system ID is enabled. Understood? I have not enabled it. It is by default enabled on all the Cisco switches. It is by default enabled in all the Cisco switches. So if I say, if I go in the configuration mode, extended, let me check if I'm having the commands over here. Okay, I'm not having the commands over here. So if I try to disable this, okay, if I try to disable this system ID, extended system ID, I will be unable to disable this extended system ID. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is something uh, you can say extended VLAN feature. These two things you have to remember whenever you are creating any extended VLAN. The VTP mode cannot be Either you have to make the VTP mode as transparent or you have to make the mode as off. Okay, now I am on the switch 3. Sorry, let us check on switch 2. So VTP status. The mode is transparent. Now how to make it off? What is the command to make it off? What is the command to make it off? Any guess? So in this we are not having the
No,
commands. Sorry,
I think no VTP.
No VTP mode.
no VTP mode.
Yeah,
Resetting device to
that's a guess.
server mode. It is resetting the device to server mode. Anything? Okay. VTP mode off. So here in the packet tracer I'm not getting this command. Okay. VTP mode off. I think so. This switch is not. Let me check one more command. Disable VTP. Okay, this is also not giving the command. Disable VTP. Let me check VTP. No, I'm not getting the command in this switch. Okay.
Sir, the internet it says you can't completely disable VTP on Cisco switches, and the best you can do is to change it to transparent mode.
You can completely see. Completely means you can off the mode. You can off the VTP running. You can off the running of the VTP. Okay. So the VTP transparent mode is same as the VTP off mode only. Okay.
That's what
Yes.
they are saying, sir.
It is same as the off mode only. Understood? So we have seen the extended VLAN thing. What all things you have to remember, these system spanning trees extended system ID feature must be enabled. Okay. These two things you have to remember whenever you are configuring any, you can say, any extended VLAN. Okay. Now there is a type of VLAN known as voice VLAN. What is voice VLAN? What is voice VLAN?
It is used to carry voice traffic from IP phones, and it has a VLAN for it.
So voice VLAN feature enables access port to carry IP voice traffic from IP phone. What it does? Enables access ports on the switch to carry IP voice traffic from IP phones. So suppose I've connected one IP phone over here on this port. Okay, then this port will carry the VLAN information, voice VLAN information. We have to create a voice VLAN. Okay, and this port will now carry the voice VLAN information, which can connect to IP phone to carry IP voice traffic. Now, if why we need to create a voice VLAN? Okay, we need to create a voice VLAN so that we can forward the switch can forward the voice traffic, the IP voice traffic, whatever IP phone traffic is, whatever this traffic is sent by the IP phone, okay, it can forward the traffic to another devices. The Cisco IP phone contains integrated 3 ports. Okay, it is having 3 ports. The ports are here and here. Okay, so on this the port over here, we can connect any laptop, PCs, or anything. Okay, the port over here we can connect. We can take the cable, Ethernet cable, and we can connect it to the switch directly. Understood?
Yes.
Any doubt?
Yeah, on the same interface, we'll configure access as well as voice.
Sorry.
Same interface, we'll configure access as well as voice VLAN.
So we are configuring access ports. On access port, we are configuring voice VLAN. See, port is different. Access port is different. Access and trunk ports, we are the different. Ports are different. Voice and data VLANs are different. Voice VLAN and data VLANs are different. Whatever we have studied right now till now, they were data VLANs. Okay, you can say the data is transmitted from one PC to another PC. Now we are studying about voice VLANs. Okay, so it it the voice VLAN feature is enabled on the access ports. It is enabled on the
Two VLANs can't be configured on the single port, but the only exception is voice VLAN, no sir.
We
sorry.
can configure access VLAN and the voice VLAN on the same interface.
Yes, we can configure over here. See, if this port is configured for voice VLAN, okay, now this PC is connected. The PC is also sending a traffic. The traffic is moving through the IP phone to the switch. Now this switch will also have the traffic
Data
of data
VLAN.
VLANs also, and it will also have the traffic for voice VLAN. Understood? So we can configure both the things. We can configure either as this or either as this. Okay, so we will see how to configure this as what you have to do, create VLAN 10. Suppose I will create two VLANs, VLAN 10 at data VLAN and VLAN 20 as voice VLAN. Assign ports connecting to PC to data VLAN and IP phones to voice VLAN. So we will see one topology over here. Okay. Okay. So I will take one switch over here. What I will do, I will take one PC over here. Okay. One IP phone over here. Another PC. One more IP phone I will take. And just I will take one more router over here. No, no use. Just I'm placing it for network configuration. See, I'm using. Okay. So I've taken the analog.
Analog. Okay. I've connected this thing. I've connected this thing IP phone over here. Okay. Now what I will do, I will make the connections over here also. I will give the IP address, some IP address to the PC. 192.168. I can give any IP address. I will give 1.2. Okay, over here I will give the IP address on this PC as 1.1. Okay. Now these IP phones are okay. I have powered on the IP phone. Got it. Powered on the IP phones. Now what I will do, I will go on the switch.
and I will configure this. I will first of all create two VLANs. VLAN 10, I will name it as data. Then VLAN 20, I will name it as voice. Okay, show VLAN. Would have given over here show VLAN. Once I gave this command show VLAN, okay, I got all the information that I have data and voice VLAN over here. Now I will assign the ports. Okay, so I have not connected this router also. I will connect the router. There is no use of router. I've just placed it for the WAN connections. Okay, so port number 1, I will tell the port number 1 that you have to carry the data VLAN traffic. Port number 3, I will say that you have to carry the
voice.
voice VLAN traffic. And port number fast Ethernet 0/2, I will configure for both data and voice VLAN.
Voice.
Okay, so the configuration is same whatever we used to do. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, exit. Now, sorry, interface fast Ethernet 0/3, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Okay, exit. Interface fast Ethernet 0/2, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10, also VLAN 20. Okay, show VLAN. I've configured all the things. Now you can see data VLAN, voice VLAN. Okay, now why this? Just a second. This fast Ethernet /2 should come over here also, because it is also carrying data VLANs. The data VLAN is also carried by fast Ethernet 0/2. Show VLAN. Okay, so you can see over here, voice VLAN is traveled by port number fast Ethernet 0/2, and this is traveled by so why I'm not getting this, I will troubleshoot this thing. I should get over here the data VLAN traffic also. The fast Ethernet port 0/2 also should come here, because it is also carrying data VLAN traffic. We have configured this thing over here. Fast Ethernet 0/2 as it has to carry 10 and 20 both. Okay,
Sir, shouldn't we use switch port voice VLAN 20, because in my command notes I written that.
okay.
Switch port voice VLAN.
$20.
Show VLAN. It does not make any difference. The thing is over here that data VLAN this port should carry the data VLAN traffic. Okay, so it should be visible over here also, because it is carrying the data VLAN traffic also. This
So
port.
what is the configuration of F0/1 right now? Show interface.
See, show interface. Sorry, show interface fast Ethernet 0/1. We have configured it as we have configured this thing as to carry data VLAN traffic. Okay, we have configured this thing to carry data VLAN traffic, that is this, and we have configured this fast Ethernet 0/2 to carry both the traffics, data as well as voice VLAN traffic. So it should carry both the VLAN traffic. Let me check. Interface fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port.
And I've given another command,
Mode access.
MLS QoS trust COS. I don't know what that means.
Sorry.
They have given one more command, sir, for trusting the data. MLS QoS trust COS.
Okay.
That is for voice traffic.
Switch port. The command is MLS QoS, quality of service.
Yes, sir.
So where is the command inside the interface?
Yes, sir.
Switch port mode. What is the command?
No,
Can
sir,
you please
just
give me the command?
no switch port, sir. Just MLS QoS trust COS. Sir.
MLS QoS trust COS.
COS. Yes, sir.
Okay. It will
It
not
does
make
not
any.
get you the data traffic. Yeah. That is for voice. We have configured voice. I think you have to do switch port mode access, then switch port
We have
access
already done
VLAN
switch
10.
port mode
This was not
access.
taught properly in CCNA also, sir.
Sorry.
This was not taught in CCNA also, sir. So this is new.
Yeah, it's new. It is not there in CCNA. It is not there in CCNA. So I have to troubleshoot this thing. Why it is not coming? I will troubleshoot and let you people know. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. In the next lecture, I will let you know. Okay. So someone has sent a chat. Try DNS3. Dade, what I have to do to try DNS3?
No, GNS3, I mean, I think it's
The GNS3. Okay.
I'm just thinking maybe because packet tracer, the features are really sometimes it's on and off. So I think it's better we use another platform, or you can just try on a live lab and check. Maybe not necessarily now. It might be later.
Okay, I will check and I will let you people know regarding this. I will troubleshoot this thing and I will let you know.
Yeah,
All right.
normally if you do like show run and the interface, it will be like show access, or it will be switch port mode access, then switch port access VLAN 10, and then switch port voice VLAN 20. So that
Yeah,
will be the
you can do
interface.
show run.
Sorry, Dade?
If you
Show
do a
run.
show run, yeah, but
See what I have made over here. Switch port access VLAN 10, switch port mode access. Okay. And on this port, I have allowed two traffics. So what I will do, I will remove this thing. Okay, here I will remove this thing. P
and not 20.
interface faster than 0 slash 2 is show run. I've removed this thing. Now what I will do, interface faster than at 0 slash 2 switch port mode access switch port access
VLAN 10.
VLAN 10 show VLAN show run. Okay, now I'm getting both the VLANs over here. Show VLAN. See, I got it. See, it was
Yes,
not
so it
taking
was a
the thing.
configuration mistake.
Yeah, it was not taking the command, both the commands for data and voice VLAN. I have to give the voice VLAN command as given by Arjun. Okay, this command has to be used for voice VLAN, switch port voice VLAN 20. Okay, and this command is for switch port access VLAN 10. If I want to use VLAN 10, if I want to use a data VLAN, then I should use this VLAN, and if I want to use a voice VLAN, I have to use this VLAN. Should switch port voice VLAN 20. Understood? There is no need of this command also. There is no need of this command over here. Understood? See, QoS, why you are giving QoS? QoS is given that whether you are giving the traffic, whether you are whatever traffic is being forwarded. Okay, what you are doing, you are assigning that this voice traffic is my sensitive traffic. Okay, if you want to assign the voice traffic as sensitive traffic or business related traffic, that it should not get dropped, then you configure these MLS QoS configuration. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Yes, just to prioritize voice traffic.
Yes. Whenever
Even
you
I
want
didn't know
that
the
this is
meaning of
your
that.
business
Was
related
just given.
traffic, it should not get dropped.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. So, guys, we will take 5 minutes break. Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I will drink some water and come. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. So, we have seen how a port can carry voice as well as data traffic both. Okay, so we have seen over here, we have configured the things. So the fast Ethernet 0 slash 2 is carrying data traffic as well as voice traffic both. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Why do you need voice traffic? You need voice traffic to so that your voice VLAN. Why you need voice VLAN? You need voice VLAN so that you can your voice traffic should get forwarded. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll move to the next topic known as CDP and LLDP. What is CDP?
Cisco Discovery Protocol.
Cisco Discovery Protocol. Why it is used? Cisco Discovery Protocol. Proprietary
So
protocol
you
developed by
learn.
Cisco system. Yeah, sorry.
I said to learn the neighbor details.
Yes. It is used to share information about other directly connected Cisco devices, such as on which port it is connected, operating system version, IP address, all the things, these all things informations are given. Okay, suppose I have one switch over here. Okay, one router is connected over here, another switch is connected over here. So once I give a command on this show CDP neighbor, okay, so show CDP neighbor on this switch, it will give me the information about this router, also this switch. Okay, that what is the version of this switch, on which port it is connected, what is the IP address, if any IP address is given to the switch. Okay, so why you want these types of information? Why you people want these types of information? What is the use?
To understand the topology
Yes.
on it.
To understand the topology. So it is very important from a troubleshooting perspective. Troubleshooting, whenever you are troubleshooting anything, okay. So suppose what will happen that uh, you are troubleshooting something, okay. So the versions of two switches are different, okay. So sometimes it happens that when the software version or operating version of two switches are different, so it does not communicate with each other, they do not communicate with each other. So in this situation, while you troubleshoot the connectivity, you have to see this, you have to give this command. So while troubleshooting perspective, CDP can be used either confirm or fix
Ah,
the documentation shown in the network diagram.
you did. Where you go, they go?
I don't keep it again.
Dade, can you
Okay.
please mute your microphone?
I called the guy won't carry me go talk say we just waste our time. So we get to Abuja. So Abuja dey love me.
Wow.
Dade. Okay. So by default, CDP announcements are sent every 60 seconds on interfaces. CDP announcements means all the CDP messages, all the CDP informations are sent every 60 seconds on interfaces. Understood why CDP is used? Or you can use this to discover the devices and interfaces used in a network. Now, what I can do, I have a network, so I want to see that my router is connected on which port, or my this another switch. I have layer 3 switch also. So my layer 3 switch is connected on which port. I have to see the thing. So what I can do, I can either go in the data center and check it physically. Okay, so it will be very hectic for me to go in the data center and check it manually, all the things. So what I can do, I can give this command on the switch that show CDP neighbors. So once I give this command, I will get all the information. The neighbor devices, the interfaces that are connected, the version that are running, what IP address we have given. Understood?
Yes.
So CDP neighbor commands deliver the information about directly connected devices. Got it? Show CDP neighbor. The command gives us these all information. Show CDP neighbor, device ID, local interface, hold time, capability, platform, port ID. These all informations are given by this command. Show CDP neighbor. Show CDP neighbors detail. This is also one command. It will give you a detailed thing. A detailed thing. You will get your IP address also. What IP address is given. All the things. Show CDP interface. This is also one command that you can look it for interface, and then you can give the interface number over here. Whatever interface you want to see. So these all are the commands that you can use for CDP. Okay, so what we will do, we have a topology over here. We will configure this topology and we will try to see the all the commands. We will try to see all the commands. Okay, so I think so. I have already I am already having this topology configured. So what I have given the IP address to the router 192.168.2.1. Okay, so let me confirm. So IP interface brief. So see, I have given the IP address to the router 2.1. Okay, this is connected to a switch. I have taken, you can say different switches, different version switches. This is my 2960 switch. This is my 2950 switch. This is my 3560 switch. So what I have given the IP address on the VLAN interface also. You can see VLAN 1, 192.168.3.1. I have given an IP address 3.1. Also, here on this switch, I have connected two routers and I have given them IP address 192.168.1.1 and 1.2. Understood? So let me check the details. Let me check the details. So what is the command? First of all, you can see show CDP. This will give you the status. This will give you the status. Sending CDP packets every 60 seconds. Sending hold time value of 180 seconds. Sending CDP version 2 advertisement is enabled. So this will give you the information about CDP. This command will give you the information about CDP. Now to see the neighbor details, what all are the directly connected neighbors devices, show CDP neighbors. Once I give this command, you will get all the directly connected. You see, I am on switch, this switch. I am on this switch. I have given this command. Okay. Now, what all devices are connected? I have one router connected, which is having an IP address 2.1. I have a switch connected over here 3560. I have another switch connected over here 2950 switch. You can see 2950 switch I've connected over here. So these all are the directly connected devices. So when I go on the switch, I can see which is connected on fast Ethernet 0/2. The whole time is one this. Okay. The platform that the switch is using is 2950. Okay. The router, it is connected on fast Ethernet 0/3. The platform is PT1000. Okay. Port ID, the destination port, the port that is connected to the router, the port that the router's port, you can say the destination port. The router port is fast Ethernet 0/0. Switch port that is connected is 29 of for 2950. It is fast Ethernet 0/2. See, you can verify over here 0/2. 2950 is connected. Okay. Now this gave me the information about the neighbors. Now if I want to see the detailed information about the neighbors, so I have to give the command detail. Show CDP neighbor details. See, I got the detailed information. Device ID, switch, entry address. This I am seeing for this switch. See, 2950, software version 2950. Version 12.1, release software date is so and so. This is all the things. Okay, I will get all the details. It is connected. Outgoing port is fast Ethernet 0/2. Understood? Now for the router, see, I got the IP address of the router. The router, I have given the IP address to the router. This is the IP address of the router that I have given. Okay. Understood? Now see,
Yes.
I've connected one Cisco switch also. So capabilities, it can work multi-layer switch. It can work as router also. It can work as a router also. Here you can see the switch capabilities, switch. Here you can get all the detailed information about the CDP neighbors. What all are the CDP neighbors? How you can see the neighbor details. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now suppose I want that my some of the ports should not get the CDP information. Okay, for some of the ports I need that it should not get the CDP information. Why I will need that thing? Why I need that this port should not show the CDP information? Suppose I have a WAN connection over here. Okay, I have an internet connection over here. Okay, an ISP. You can say it is an ISP connection. So what I want that this router can should not get the information about my network, about my neighbor devices. Okay, this router should not get information about the devices. Okay, so what I will do, I will disable the this on this port. I will disable CDP on this port on fast Ethernet 0/4. I will disable so that whenever any device is trying to get information about this device, okay, it will not get reflected in the table. Understood?
Yes.
So whenever the some device is connected to internet, so that if the internet people or the people on the internet gets the information about the about the devices that we are using, they can hack the device or they can do anything, right? So I want that these information should not be revealed to anyone else. So what I can do, what command I can give? I can give a command in the interface. I can go inside the interface. I can give a command no CDP enable. No CDP enable. Okay. So let me check. I am inside this switch. First I will see what all are my CDP neighbors. So CDP neighbors. Okay. So I am on this switch. I should get these two routers, these two switches. Okay, so I'm getting one switch, two routers, and another switch. Okay, and their ports. So now what I will do, I will make this fast Ethernet 0/4 as it should not give me the information about the CD about this port. Okay, so what I will do, interface fast Ethernet 0/4 no CDP enable. No CDP enable. Config terminal. The command is over here no CDP enable, but it is not
Hello?
taking. Yeah,
Okay, so from the topology, if what they call it, ISP connected, right? Like you said, wants to. Are you not supposed to? I'm thinking is the interface connecting to them that you disable the CDP, not the interface connecting internally.
yeah, but I'm just showing you because we don't have any connection over here. So I'm just
Oh
showing
yeah,
you
okay.
about the
Oh,
how to
okay.
disconnect because we are not having any ISP connection over here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
So it is not giving me the output. It should not show this router over here. Should not show this router. 150. Uh, okay.
From router, I don't think we will be able to see the switch details, sir.
I'm on the switch. I'm not on the
Yes, sir.
router.
Since you have disabled on the switch, from router you can't type show CDP and
I didn't got you. Okay, you mean
since
to
you have
say that I have to disable this port, the switch connected port.
in the router also.
In the router also I have to disable this thing.
This is one way disabling, sir. If we disable on switch from outside, they won't be able to see inside. Sir. From router, you can't see the switch details now, I think.
I'm getting the switch details.
I don't know.
No, so this is not
That's
the
that's
thing.
this shows that's no shows no sibling neighbor on the router too now.
Sorry, Daddy, come again.
I said you have to do no CDB neighbor on the router
Okay,
as well.
let us try. What I
Yeah,
have to do?
because no CDB on the interface on the router.
Okay, interface fast Ethernet 0/0. No CDP
Yeah,
Enable.
enable.
enabled. Yeah. Then you won't see whether you are seeing it from up or Yeah,
So now I
because
cannot see the switch details over here.
I think the thing originates. You are trying to pull. You are pulling the details yourself, right? And if
See, I'm unable to see the details over here also now. So the thing, Arjun, that you are telling, it was not correct, because see what you are doing, you are disabling the port. You are disabling the port, so it will not show to anyone. It will not show to anyone, either the inside users or either the outside users. If it's
Okay, sir.
showing to the inside users, it will be definitely showing to the outside users. What you are doing, you are disabling the port. You know that my router is connected to this port, which is directly connected to the internet. Okay, which is with the ISP's router. You know this information. So you don't need to get this information in your CDP neighbors table.
Okay, sir.
Understood. So that is the reason what you will do whenever you will disable this thing, you will disable it for all the users, for inside users also, for outside users also. Okay.
Sir, but if we have to configure no CDP enable on both sides, we can't guarantee that the ISP provider will do it on their router, no, sir. So how can
Yes,
we?
I don't think you need to do this because
Sorry.
ISP will not do it.
Maybe we can do for last and second last routers for ours, but
See,
um,
sorry, I didn't got your question. Come again.
if we have to do no CDP enable on both the sides, we can't
Mhm.
expect the ISP service provider to do that on their router, no, sir. So
Correct.
uh, how is that efficient or
See,
secure?
when you are connecting router to a switch, suppose I am connecting another router over here. Let us check. Okay, I'm connecting another router over here. Okay, now let us consider this is the ISP's router. Okay, let us connect. Let us. So what I will do, I will give the IP address to this interface config t interface serial 2/0 IP address 10.0.0.1 55.0. Okay, no shut. Anyone know how to exit this command?
Control Shift 6, sir.
It's not going by control shift.
Control Shift.
Control shift 6, right?
Yes, sir.
No, it is not going.
sorry, what are we trying to do?
See, the question Arjun is asking over here, that if suppose you are disabling on both the interfaces, you are disabling it
Yeah,
on both the interfaces. Now,
yeah,
suppose I am running, this is my router, okay, and this is my ISP's router. Now, we cannot
yeah.
expect that if I disable it over here, the ISP will also disable it the same, the CDP command. We cannot, you can say, we cannot expect from the ISPs to also disable the same thing. Okay, so the doubt is over here. So we are trying to see this thing. Okay,
Okay, okay. Very good.
I've given there one, right? Okay, so what I will give, show CDP neighbors. See what I'm getting. Is I'm getting any details?
No, sir.
Am I getting any details?
No, sir.
See, once you
Disabled,
disable,
right? It is not
yes,
disabled.
it
So
is,
we should get details.
yes. So we should get details about this router, right?
Yes.
Why we are not getting details?
It's not up. I think do it again.
It is up. Both the ports are up.
No, but
Because router itself
it
is
came
not
up now.
receiving any details from the switch, sir.
No, it came up after you gave that detail. Now
Okay,
it is
sir.
showing.
We got the information. Okay. Now, your point is,
Okay.
Yeah, if
show
it
CDP
disable
neighbor.
on one side, it should work.
So what I
Yeah,
will do, I will disable on this port.
I
Yes.
think if you disable on one side, it should work. Right.
Interface serial 2/0. No CDP enable. Okay, I've disabled it on this side. It is showing me over here also. Okay.
Sir, there is a command to disable CDP globally, sir.
Yeah, there is a command to globally to disable. The command is, I
No
think,
CDP run.
no CDP run.
For the border routers, we can disable CDP completely.
Yes. Yes, I completely forgot. To enable the CDP, we have to give this command over here. See, on the configuration mode, I have to give this command CDP run. Once I give this command, CDP will be enabled. So if I give no command over here, then it is being disabled. Okay, so show CDP run. Sorry, show CDP neighbors. CDP is not enabled. Okay. Now config terminal, see CDP run. Once I give this command CDP run, I will get the informations about the devices. Now my ISP is not having any. My ISP's router is disabled now. Okay, thank you, Arjun. Thank you very much. I completely forgot this command, CDP run command, that is there in the global mode. So if you want that your device should not get the information outside for the outside network, then you have to disable the CDP on your border device. You have to disable the CDP on your border device. Understood? Any doubt?
No, sir.